No coach has ever won a game by what he knows. It's what his players know that counts. Paul Bryan. Hey hustlers, Christian here, host of the Hustle Show. Thank you so much for being here today. I'm super thrilled to have you here again in another episode of the Hustle Show, episode number 17. And on today's episode, we have an incredible story of Morgan Cheats, who is a certified holistic wellness coach. And her background, it's amazing. I mean, she had the dream job, she had the dream lifestyle, she was doing everything that what most people dream of, but for whatever reason, there was a gap inside and she wasn't feel fulfilled. So on today's episode, she's going to share how she was able to change her life around by focusing on doing what her passion told her to, and by helping others with their wellness and by coaching them to bigger and better things. And her life changed drastically, and she's so happy and she's doing phenomenal out there. And I'm very honored to have her here on the show. She's an incredible person, and I just can't wait to share the story with you of Morgan Cheats. But before we do, just want to remind you that all the show notes for today's episode and a way to connect with Morgan and everything that we talk about in today's episode, you can always go to thehustleshow.co/THS17, and you'll be able to find not only all the links to connect with Morgan and to follow her around, but also you'll be able to find our free book club where we review entrepreneurial books, and we're constantly updating and posting content for you to get you inspired and to get you action and to get you to act on your ideas and go after your dreams, okay? And before we jump into the call with Morgan, I would love for you to hit the subscribe button right now. Whether you're watching this in our YouTube channel or you're listening into our audio podcast experience, just hit that subscribe button right now, and you'll be helping a lot of people to find the show, as you will be telling iTunes and YouTube that the Hustle Show is worthy of your time and is worthy for other people to find it as well. So, hit that subscribe button, and I would really appreciate it if you do so, okay? So without further ado, let's jump in the call with Morgan Cheats from livewellbewelldogood.com. All right, hustlers. So in today's episode, we have Morgan Cheats, the holistic coach that I'm super pumped and excited to have here. Welcome, Morgan.
Hi, Christian. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, I'm pumped and excited and thrilled to have you here. I've been reading a little bit about your story, and not only that, but the business that you've built is very transparent and being honest with your clients and customers. And that's what the Hustle Show is all about. And when I saw that, it's like, Morgan needs to be here.
Well, thank you. I love that we have that alignment. I mean, I love your no filter philosophy. I think that's where we're at with the world. That's what we need. A lot more transparency, authenticity, wholeness, realness. Yeah.
Sweet. So, I mean, I know you were a very successful director of marketing for the family business. I know you were doing some amazing modeling for big names out there. And I love how on your website you say, you had the dream job, the dream body, the dream everything that everybody wanted. And, I cracked that when I read that, but it's so true. Sometimes a lot of people have what you would think is the dream for everybody else, but sometimes it's not for you. Mm-hmm. And, so tell us a little bit, how was that life like looking back now that you've been a coach for quite a long time? So guide us a little bit about how was that transition from being on top of the world as, marketing and modeling to now being a coach. I'm eager to hear that.
So it's been a labor of love. There's been a lot of joy. And to be honest, it's a little bit painful, right? Like transitions and stepping out of when you're breaking the mold of something else into something new. You have to sort through the uncomfortable emotions, the change, the unknown along the way. So part of me felt a tremendous amount of freedom and relief. And it really, like, stepping into my role as a coach really felt like stepping into myself. And I think the irony, and probably a lot of people can relate to this, is like before coaching, it's not like I wasn't being myself per se, right? Like I chose to do the other career paths that I did. And those career paths showed me the contrast of what isn't as fulfilling for who I am, my personality, and my soul. And that contrast is what led me to where I am today with coaching.
Right. And I love that you took action, but I'm just wondering and trying to figure it out what was that moment that you decided, okay, well, this is going well, but it's not fulfilling my life. I gotta make a change and do something else. What happened there? What was that moment like?
It was also a painful moment.
Right? Yeah. I think the best moments in life, there's always pain behind them.
Yeah, definitely. So it it took a physical thing for me to really make that decision. Um, I how it came about is I got poison ivy all over the upper half of my body from doing yard work at my house. And while mostly I try to treat things naturally, it was literally like all over my face and all over my arms. So I decided to try a cortisone shot from a doctor, which sent my prior fatigue and adrenal fatigue into like the next level. So all of a sudden I was facing like severe adrenal fatigue, and my 30th birthday rolled around at the same time. So I just looked around and I was like, I was kind of just like, oh my God, I just turned 30. I've spent the last decade like working on both of these businesses and doing these things. And I feel like I should be super excited and happy right now. Like the month before I turned 30, my family's company had our product featured in Architectural Digest, and it was a huge issue. And that moment came and I was just like, I don't even, like I cared, but I just realized that it didn't hit me probably where it should. So all of those things together just led to this moment of me looking around and being like, I am extremely unhappy. And I thought that when I built all those things and I arrived at this point in life, that happiness and fulfillment would come with it, and it didn't.
And it's very important for all the hustlers that are listening to us right now that, I mean, you had it all. Like I said, you had the job, you were doing the things that you wanted back then. You were modeling, which, right now, a lot of people would love to be an Instagram model and just be, dominating social media with their modeling pictures. But yet again, if that's not, fulfilling your life, it's okay to make a change. So, you had the courage and you had the being brave, and because I bet it wasn't easy, right?
No, like I've had to start all over.
Right.
You go from investing so much in these other endeavors and building them up and getting to a certain place. Even my massage therapy business, like I have been in a place with all of my things where I was consistently being called for work and I consistently had income. So to once again tear that down and have to invest and rebuild in something new, like it's not easy. It's hard. And I have to say, like, you think because you've done it before that it's going to be easier this time. And it's not. You still got to go to the process. You still have to take the action and do the things and build it all up. However, the beauty comes is that when you can be in alignment and really feel fulfilled, to me, that brings its own version of success. That when you have the external things we were talking about before, if you don't have that internal fulfillment, the external doesn't feel so great. So while now in my current business, I'm still building it, and it's not at the level of the other things yet, it's a great reminder and a great lesson to continuously focus on the internal success and fulfillment and well-being. as the path to the external.
And when you were going through these changes in life, and you were basically, the let's call it the empire that you had built, and everything that you had built, you basically threw it down to start all over into a new thing and a new venture, which was your coaching business. Did you have any doubts that you could actually get paid to coach people as far as it comes to, holistic things, and what were you thinking, or did you knew that it was going to be a home run right from day one?
So I definitely had a lot of doubt. I had a lot of doubt. I had a lot of fear. I mean, stepping into a role of a coach specifically, I think brings a lot of personal development with it. It brings out all your own inner stuff that you have to kind of look at, because you're sitting there saying, yeah, I can help you improve your life, right? I'm going to support and guide you. And so there's a lot of your own stuff along the way that comes up. To be quite frank, this journey to build this business has been much more challenging than I ever expected. My massage therapy business, I literally did no marketing for it. It was the easiest thing ever to build. And I was just kind of like, yeah, I'm stepping into my purpose. I'm in alignment now. This is going to be super easy. And it didn't go that way at all. So I actually had expectations of the path being much easier than it has been, which probably made it a little bit harder for me so far.
For sure. Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, you know, and I feel like you were in this position where you've seen it both, where you went after the status and the the job, the money, and now going after your passion. Does it feel different now that you are on the other side of the fence now, when you look back and you say like, well, now it's this passion is driving you, right? So
it is. So it does make it more rewarding and fulfilling to go through the challenging moments. Like right now, there's more internal reward on the path to the external reward. So it feels a little bit lighter. My personality and my personal challenge is still going to be that I'm an achiever. So I tend to make things a little harder when I don't reach those external goals. I certainly don't want to say that I'm at a place where, oh yeah, these external goals and the money doesn't matter. Because let's be real, it does. Like, I think there's nothing wrong with aspiring to any of that. And we all, on some level, want a really great quality of life in that external world. But at least the path to get there, I am being fed from inside along the way. So that is helpful.
yes, exactly. I mean, especially when you look at, there's thousands of millionaires out there that live a miserable life because they did not pursue their passion, and they were not going after things that you enjoy, like the coaching. And I relate to that too. I mean, when you hear of a coach, or let me give you this example, because this is the first thing that comes to mind. When you go to the nutritionist doctor, and he or she is overweight, and is like, so should I take advice from you? It's like, how? Right. I feel like that was your case, right? Is that how you felt?
Yeah, I mean, I still feel that way. I feel a great responsibility to myself and to my clients, and just this role for me to really be transparent, to there's a word that's not coming through right now, but really to walk my talk, right? Like, I can't go and not take care of myself and not do the work myself and then expect other people to do that. So yeah, I feel a great amount of responsibility. And also I want people to really recognize that as a coach, I'm not a guru, right? Like, my role is to guide them to be in alignment with themselves. So my coaching in particular, it's not about per se telling people what to do. I mean, I have a vast amount of knowledge of like holistic wellness to support them, but my style is about supporting them to be in alignment with themselves and make the right choices for them. So as I show up for myself and share how I take care of myself, I like to use that as a message to guide them to do the same for themselves.
That's very cool. So after you went through all of the battle with your mind, because you were basically fighting against yourself, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. There's still a battle, right?
Right, yeah. And I think
comes up in different ways.
how long have you been doing just the coaching part?
So I've been coaching now for about 2 years.
Okay, 2 years. And during those 2 years, you said, there's still doubt. Has it been less doubt, more doubt, or the same?
Far less.
Okay. But there's still something, right? There's still every once in a while?
I wouldn't say it's doubt. I think for me, it really comes up as like the inner critic a lot. Like I don't have doubt at all in my coaching capabilities and how I can serve other people. I'm really clear at this point with all the clients I've served and the practice I've had that I can do that really, really well. So for me, it just really shows up as like my inner mean girl and inner critic is like, oh, who's really going to pay you for that? Like, who are you to do this? Like the mean voice, what makes you special? Like, why do you have a right to do that? So that is the main thing that shows up for me that I consistently have to work through.
That's cool. So once, looking back when you barely started, how were those first 6 months with you? What was going on with your mind and your thoughts and everything that was going on with the craziness?
Oh my God, it was terrifying. Like, I just remember my first coaching clients, like literally trembling, being on the phone. Like, I was just terrified that I wasn't going to help them or that I was going to fail them somehow, or that, we were going to get on the phone and I wouldn't know how to help them. And fear, like terror and fear was probably the first 6 months. And then also my personality, I'm the kind of person, I'm a doer to have confidence. Like I can have theoretical knowledge, but until it's applied and practiced, I never feel confident. So those first 6 months was turning the theory, and I practiced a lot in my coaching certification. So it's not like I hadn't been applying it, but that first 6 months was learning through experience what I'm capable of. And after I had that as a foundation, the next 6 months became so much easier.
That's awesome. I love that. That, you overcome everything that was going on. And especially during those first 6 months, I mean, it's really tough emotionally and physically, and the doubt, the trying to figure out, are you good or not? And we talk on most of the episodes, this comes up, is that bad person that you have inside, the one that stops you from doing many things.
Something comes up that I really want to say too, that I think as a whole right now is said a lot in the world that really bothers me. And that's like, be fearless. And it's like the number one thing that I see, because I've worked with now, I coach students in the coaching certification program. Fear is what keeps us stuck. And I think we have this belief that we're not going to be afraid at some point. And that's when we take action. And this whole thing, be fearless. And that's never been my experience in anything I've done in my life. My experience is that personally, I'm terrified, and you just have to have courage, right? Like you're going to feel afraid, but just have the courage to feel the fear and take mindful, intentional action anyway, despite it.
And I'm so happy that you touched that thing, because I mean, I'm no guru, right? I'm no expert or psychology coach, anything like that. But your numbers, you're episode 17. So I've already talked to 16 people before you. Yeah. And I've asked the same question, what you fear yourself? Everybody has said yes. So, for everybody that is listening, it's all about busting the myth, right? It's not successful people are not fearless. They simply use fear as a motivation, and I've always been to that mentality too, because I fear every day and I doubt myself every day too, right? But sometimes I turn the fear around, right? So I fear a lot more not accomplishing what I want than fear to try.
Exactly. Yeah, that's a beautiful way to look at it.
Yes, well, it took me years to it took me many years and many books to come up with that, but that's the reality. So it's not about being fearless. It's trying to dominate those fears and turn them around to your advantage.
Yeah, being courageous and just learning how to support yourself through feeling them. Because each new level we reach brings new fears.
Yes.
So we
Doesn't
may
matter.
learn from the beginning, like how to live with and work through and take action anyway, and like support ourselves with the fear because it's not going away. It's gonna stick.
Right. And did that fear drive you to ever think about quitting and stop the business and just go look for something else, go back into the family business or something like that?
Well, we sold the family business, so that's
Oh,
my
okay.
mom.
So that was no option.
That got sold. That's not an option. Um, yeah, like, but my love for coaching itself keeps me from doing that. But yeah, fear of, oh, what if I don't hit the income goals that I want to, like, right? Or what if I can't build this business to the level that I want to? Those fears really tear me down. And that's when I start thinking those thoughts like, oh, maybe I should just do something else, which is where the argument ends because I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know what else I would do because I don't think I'm like, this is what I feel my whole life has been preparing me to do. So at that moment, I'm like, okay, keep on with the keeping on, figure it out, and keep going.
Nice. That's amazing. I love that. And it's keeping it real. This is all about keeping it real. And for everybody that is listening, we're not being negative. We're being real, because there's a bunch of people out there talking about the three-step system, the 30 days to a million, the all that. I think that's enough. There's enough out there, and that's exactly why we don't do it here, right? Because
Right.
I don't think there's enough transparency, to be honest with you. And that's why I love what you do, because you are very transparent and you're inspiring too. So very excited to have you here.
Thank you. And I love that you touched on the rules in the system. Can I speak to something about that?
Yes, absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay. So especially like with health and wellness, and I know even on the business end, like we're always looking for this rule or this system or this plan to follow. And unfortunately, there is no one size fits all plan for all people. And that's why in my coaching and anybody else who talks the same message, I love when people are supported to do what's in alignment for them and take action based on that, because that's the only plan that's ever going to work, is doing what you can with who you are from where you are and then consistently moving forward with that. And you have to learn how to adjust on a moment to moment basis, because otherwise without that you're just following some rule that may or may not apply in that moment. And that's what keeps people stuck a lot in their wellness and in their business. So I just wanted to touch on that. There is no one size fits all plan.
Yes, I think that's a gold nugget. Thank you so much for sharing. And hopefully a lot of people that are listening right now, they resonate and they comprehend this message, because and again, this is another thing that's been coming up a lot is you compare yourself to other people, and that's the worst thing you can do, right? Especially with those systems that we're talking about. It's like, well, I did everything they told me, but the results are not here yet.
You're exactly right.
Yeah, so it's there's a lot of myths that are out there, but I think that as long as there's somebody like you being transparent, people that appreciate transparency are going to be following you and are going to appreciate everything you do.
I hope so. That's who I want to attract, and that's who I want to support, is people that are just ready to truly show up and be themselves and build their business based on that foundation. So knowing yourself is the first step, and then taking action based on knowing yourself.
Very cool. And through all the journey, ups and downs, and that what they call the mountains and the entrepreneurial valleys that we all go through, what would you say is your secret to success to where you are right now? What kept you going, or what was pushing you to achieve the level? And I'm sure there's you will keep growing and you will keep exploding, but
Mhm.
what got you to where you are right now?
Well, this is it's truly just persistence and belief, um, and a deep desire, like a strong, strong inner calling is what guides me. And now I'm going to go like a little bit woo woo, spiritual, and esoteric on everybody, but
I love that.
like that's what keeps me going along my path is like, there'll be times where I'm just like, oh, like I can't take it anymore. This is too hard. And then right at that moment, I'll be like, oh, I just want to give up. And then like this sign or this event or this person, like something will happen. And it just like pours it like soul fuel back in me. It's like, okay, it's like the breadcrumb, right? That's kind of an analogy. Like these little breadcrumbs come along and they're like, Morgan, you're on the path. You just have to keep following the breadcrumbs, stay on your path and keep going. And those are the things that keep me going. And then just looking like, like I said earlier, I mean, at the end of our life, we just have death. So how do I want to spend my life? Failing isn't fun. Not reaching your goals isn't fun. But like we were talking about earlier, the other option is to stop trying. And if what you're doing is so important to you that you can't see yourself doing anything else, then you just let that drive you and keep going and, keep perspective about things.
Very cool. I love that. And everything you've been saying all through this episode has been, not only spiritual, but very inspirational too. Very true. I agree with everything. And hopefully, we touch out of whoever listens to this, we touch at least one person, right? One person that gets this message. That's all we need.
That's all we need. That would be amazing. If someone out there
Yes.
listening to it is to go, yes, me too. I get it. Thank you.
Yes. So everybody listening, if you want to shoot me or Morgan an email and just say, okay, it was me, you touched me and I got the point, and I'm going to go do it now. It's like, that's the purpose of the show. And that's the whole purpose of what we do, being transparent and trying to change somebody's life.
And I would love to hear from people. I'm sure you would as well. Like there's nothing more fun than
Yes. It's so
hearing
fun. Yes.
stories.
Yeah.
Like email us, say hello, reach out. Like
yeah, and that's another thing that drives us too. Like, somebody reaching out and saying, yeah, you're doing it right, keep going because you're helping me. And
yeah.
I think this is all, this is exactly what it's all about. So I'm very excited for all the things that you're doing, and I'm so happy that you've done so many great things. I mean, going after the dreams and then after the passion. So how do you feel right now with what you're doing?
I just feel so grateful to be able to support other people. I mean, I don't say that either because we're supposed to be grateful. Like, there's nothing more that I love than coaching someone and watching them like grow and feel better and become more themselves and like shine, and then to get the messages back from, I support mostly women, some men. But the best thing ever is when they come back and they feel empowered, they feel strong, they feel confident, and they know exactly how to show up as themselves authentically, like we're talking about. Like, that's what I love the most. I could coach people all day long, every day. There's just nothing better to me.
Yes. I love that. All right. So we're going to change gears a little bit from listening to your amazing story and everything that you're sharing with us to what I like to call the hustle round. Okay. It's our little game that we're going to play where I throw a word at you, and whatever comes in mind, you got to, say it aloud in one single word. Okay. It's
Okay.
It's hard because one word is pretty hard to summarize it, but try your best to do one word.
Okay, I love word games, so thanks for.
Okay, cool. So I'm excited then.
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. Hustle,
Flow,
work,
play,
employee,
asset,
boss,
leader,
rules,
freedom,
college,
intuition,
fear,
courage,
weakness,
strength.
that was the next word, strength, motivation,
Inspiration.
and last but not least, books.
Love.
I'm so happy that I did give you a few seconds of thinking. So I made you think. That's good. I like it.
You did. You did.
Cool, cool. Yeah, because you started super fast. I mean, it was like, what? Don't you already responded to me?
Wow, I just got called to, like, I didn't mean to intentionally, like, create polarity, but, like, when you said the words, I'm like, wait a minute, like, that thing is also this thing. So
Right.
came up.
That's so cool. So, you know, you've done a lot of great things, and I'm very proud of you. And then I know you're on track of big things, and you know, big explosions for you and your business and everything that you do, and everybody that you coach, right? So I'm very proud, and kudos to you for everything that you do, and keep going, keep hustling. And to all the hustlers that are listening to us right now, do you have a hustling quote that you can share with them so that they can, you know, keep pushing, stay motivate them? Maybe they're on the fence on trying to quit their 9 to 5 and go build their dreams, or maybe they're already in business but they're not at the point where they want to be. What would you tell them to keep pushing and keep going?
So the number one thing is that I want to remind them that resting is actually doing something. There's action is great. Taking the leap, doing the thing, and, you know, having the courage to try are all fantastic. And also we have to remember that along with those things, we have to take the time to rest, restore ourselves, to create perspective, to listen in, and to make sure that the direction we're headed is actually where we want to put our focus. So that's the biggest thing I run into with entrepreneurs. And I want to remind everybody that the resting, the reflection, the evaluating your plan and perspective is just as important as the hustling and the doing and the taking action.
I love it. Yes. So everybody listening, you know, take note of what Morgan's sharing here with us. And, you know, before we leave here, I would love for people to be able to connect with you, send you an email, or maybe they're looking for their wellness coach. You know, is there a way that they can get a hold of you and get in contact with you?
Definitely. So they can go to my website, which is livewellbewelldogood.com. I have a contact form there. You can drop me a message, a note, and connect with me there. You can also connect with me on Twitter or Instagram at livebdogood. You're welcome to look me up on Facebook. Name's Morgan Sheets. You can send me a friend request, drop me a message, say you heard me on the Hustle Show. I'm happy to accept your friend requests. Again, it's open, right? Like, there's no separation for me between my work and my life. They're one and the same. So yeah, please reach out. I have, even though I say, you know, we don't have a plan or a blueprint, on my website, I do provide my cat.
He wants to jump in the call.
He does. He's all about this. They can sign up. I've created an extensive free guide that'll teach people how to discover their own well-being blueprint. So to know themselves, body, mind, and spirit, so they know exactly what food, self-care, lifestyle habits are going to actually energize them and fill them up. And that's on my website, Live Well, Be Well, Do Good. I would love for people to sign up, get that PDF. It's the foundation of my work with everybody. And that's why I've created it to give away for free, because we're all about helping people and changing lives. And it's a great guide to, as a foundation, to know yourself, know what to do to take good care of yourself.
I love it. And we'll make sure that we put a link to your website and to your social accounts on thehustleshow.co/THS17. So everybody that is listening, they can go in there and find links to, go download their blueprint and start getting back to their path and to what they're destined to do. So, I'm just grateful. So, very thankful that you took the time to talk to us today and to share your story, your struggles, your ups and downs, all the hustling that you went through and you still do, because I think it's one of the things that will ever be around us for as long as you're an entrepreneur.
Oh, I think as long as we're alive, right? Like, it's human nature to want to strive for something else and to grow and to have dreams. So that's why when you said hustle, I said flow. Hustle and flow.
Sweet. All right. Well, again, thank you so much for being here. You were an awesome guest, and you did pretty well in the game too.
Well, thank you. I appreciate you having me. It's a pleasure to share your passion and to show up as your guest and get to share in your dream and your journey in that way.
So there you have it, hustlers. The story of Morgan Sheets, this incredible journey that she's building, incredible business that she has built out of her passion and out of the passion of helping others. And just want to remind you, if you haven't hit that subscribe button right now is the perfect moment to do so. So just subscribe to the show, to the Hustle Show, on both the YouTube channel and on the podcast experience. So, just hit it right now, and it will mean the world to me, and I would really appreciate it if you do so, okay? Keep hustling.
Guys, thanks so much for tuning in to the Hustle Show audio experience. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And even if you didn't, make sure you subscribe to the podcast right now. It's still free. Visit thehustleshow.co for all the show notes and to watch the video experience of this episode. We'll see you soon.